All right, I want to start today with sort of like a funny little story that's actually not really that funny. And it says a lot about Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. So yesterday on the show, I kind of gave you guys my perspective on this. Joe Biden has said he will choose a black woman to the Supreme Court. And the question was posed to Mitch McConnell in the context of, sort of an expectation that there may be funny business with Mitch McConnell when it comes to Joe Biden's eventual Supreme Court pick and so on and so forth. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. Mitch McConnell was asked how many black women work for him. And first, Mitch McConnell twice appears not to hear or understand the question until the reporter pulls his mask down. And then later he says he doesn't actually know because he doesn't have a quota for black women, which was a very cynical attempt to turn the question back as a racist question. And it completely backfires. So let's look at the first clip. Here is Mitch McConnell twice asked about how many black women are on his staff. And he can't hear it, doesn't understand it.
How many black women do you have on staff, and how are they informing your decision to move forward with this SCOTUS nomination? And same question to the other senators.
How many what?
How many black women do you have on your staff, and are they informing your decision on how to move forward with the SCOTUS nomination? And same question to the other senators.
Sorry.
Okay, so Mitch McConnell asks that the reporter's mask be pulled down. That's Pablo Manriquez from Latino Rebels. So when Pablo asked the question for the third time, Mitch McConnell responds to try to make the question seem racist.
How many black women do you have on staff, and how are they informing your decision to move forward with the SCOTUS nomination? Same question to the other senators.
Actually, I haven't checked. We don't have a racial quota in my office, but I've had a number of African-American employees, both male and female, over the years in all kinds of different positions, including speechwriter.
So he doesn't know, and he wants to make it seem like asking that is racist because I have no quota. And if you're asking me how many black women I have on staff, it's sort of like a binders full of women Mitt Romney type incident. It's an inappropriate question. It's a bizarre answer because Senate staffs are not so big that you would have no idea. It's like, do you have any black women that work for you? And we can argue it doesn't matter. We can argue it's an inappropriate question. Like, I'm not saying those things, but that's an argument we can have. But is this at all believable? Like, it's not racist to just know the answer. If someone came to me and said, sir, when you worked at Circuit City, how many black women worked with you? This was 20 years ago. There were about 80 people that I worked with at Circuit City. I would be able to tell you it was 3 or 4. That was a long time ago. And I'm saying 3 or 4 because I don't remember whether all 4 worked there with me at the same time or whatever the case may be. But there were 3 or 4 black women that worked with me at Circuit City 20 years ago. And it's not just about black women. If you said, how many Asian men worked with me as part of my internship? Remember when I got licensed for life insurance and I sold life insurance for a summer and I hated it and I knew working in financial planning is not for me. If you say, how many Asian men were part of the intern cadre with you? I can tell you with certainty, there were none. There was no quota. It's not racist to remember. It just kind of like is what it is. And so when Mitch McConnell says it's a total backfire, if the question was how many black women were at your last political rally where there were 500 people saying, I don't know, I didn't, it's completely reasonable and plausible. If you say, David, how many Native Americans were with you in your fifth grade class? There were none. I know that there were no Native Americans in my 5th grade class. There were curricula about Native Americans, and it was a topic that there were no Native Americans in the class. It was a topic of discussion. It's not racist to remember that. It's just very hard when asked these questions, and part of the funny thing is the right loves to say, and they are correct, that as humans, and many on the left say this too, but the right also says, they say as humans, you can't not notice certain attributes. When you meet someone without prejudice, you're immediately judging, am I talking to an old person or a young person, right? You're not going to have a conversation with someone and then later go, was that a kid or was that an adult? I don't know. I don't see age. It's like, no, of course you do. You would know whether that was someone between 50 and 70 or a little kid. You would know that. You're immediately evaluating gender, and sometimes you could be wrong, sure, but you're immediately evaluating it. You're generally speaking evaluating race. It doesn't mean you can always tell, was that person Indian American or not? It doesn't mean you're always doing it accurately, but you're instantly making these evaluations about people. So the right loves to say that. And they're correct that these things happen. It doesn't make you racist to notice those things. But then Mitch McConnell is asked, like, from your Senate staff, how many black women do you have? He goes, I don't know. No, I mean, we don't have any quotas, and implies the question is racist. The last part of this is, if he really doesn't know everybody who works for him, that's another level of sort of like cringeworthy narcissism, which is maybe a topic for another day. But like, if it's true that he doesn't know, it's very, very strange. And it could be one of those, like, we don't ever look at the senator sort of things. I actually don't think that that's what it is. I think the answer is zero. And Mitch McConnell was just attempting to make the question seem racist. One of our sponsors today is Blue Chew, a unique online service delivering the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. And they're giving my audience an entire month's supply for free. So if you think you could benefit from an extra boost of confidence when it's time, all you have to do is take a short quiz on their website. A licensed doctor approves your prescription. The medication comes straight to your home within days in a discreet package. No driving around to the doctor's office or the pharmacy. No waiting around. No awkward conversations with your doctor. All of Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA. The entire process is just a few clicks. Go to bluechew.com. The link is underneath this video. They'll give you an entire month's supply for free when you use the promo code PACMAN. All you have to do is pay $5 shipping.